Let me start off by saying Brienne got punched by a bear. Oh, okay. So I've decided I'm gonna do reviews of Game of Thrones. I've watched Game of Thrones since the first season. I have not read the books. I intended on reading the books, but as I watched the first season, by the time I got to the end of the first season, people were getting dropped left and right. People who weren't supposed to die, and I was like, you know what? I can't read the book, because if I read the books, then I'm gonna know what happens, and the show's too good. I just don't want to know what happens until it's too late. So, didn't read the books. Let me start off by basically saying Tywin Lannister is a fucking G. And I hate it. Like, I'm mad about it because he's unflappable. You know what I mean? He's like unbreakable. Every time you think there's like a worthy adversary for him to go up against, he doesn't even flinch and he wins. Like when he went up against the old Tyrell lady, I was like, okay, he's finally gonna have to bend right now, because this chick is a smart old broad. But what does he do? He pulls out a freaking pen, freaking quill, and wins the whole argument. What the fuck is that? And I was like, yes, he's going up against crazy King Joffrey or whatever. So he's gonna have to, he's gonna have to deal with this dude, and he's gonna have to dance around and be careful not to say anything crazy, because Joffrey's crazy, and Joffrey will put your head on a pike without even trying. And here we go. Joffrey asks him questions, and he's like, why don't you come to the meetings? If your punk ass came to the meetings, you know what's going on. And, Joffrey was like, I gotta walk all the way the way you moved them to. That's some bullshit. And then Tywin walked up those stairs to the throne and stood there like right in front of him. He was like, fuck you wanna do? You could see Joffrey kind of squirm in his chair like, oh shit, he's not scared of me. Oh shit. Nothing breaks this dude. How is this possible? He's got to have a weakness, and he just doesn't seem to have one. It's pissing me off. Anyway, so that scene was great. Jon and his wildling woman on the other side of the wall, and the green lushery that is the north. And they're going back and forth, having their cute little moments and whatever. And the dude that tried to cut them from the rope, he's a fucking hater. First of all, he's a hater. He's like, look, you can't keep a woman like that, because you don't have the balls. You're not a man. You don't know how the world works, right? Which, hey, that's a valid point, right? But then he goes behind Jon's back and goes to the little wildling chick and is like, look, he can't love you like I can. You need to be one of your own. Me. Now look, I'm not pretty, you know what I mean? I don't have a pretty little cock like he does. That's real bitch behavior, you know what I mean? To go behind his back and try to poison her mind against him. Theon. Oh, Theon. God, you've got to be the most pathetic, gut-wrenching, sad character in this entire series. You started out like you had promise. You were like the Stark brother that no one really loved besides Jon. And, you helped out, you were there. Then you had your little moment when the war started. You went out on your own and you were making moves, and then you went crazy trying to prove yourself to your father. Then you got caught by I don't know who. I still think your family's behind it, but You got caught up by these people who have been torturing you non-stop. They've tortured you every possible way that they could. They psychologically broke you. They physically broke you. They sexually broke you. I don't know how many more ways they can break you before they just kill you. Because it's bad. I mean, today when the bitches were on you and they were like climbing all over you, and I was like, this ain't right. You know something's wrong. Like, they're trying to get your dick hard. I mean, and there's only one reason I can think of that they'd be trying to get your dick hard. So they can cut that shit off. It looks like they cut your dick off. You're a Greyjoy. Y'all love to fuck. And now you don't, it looks like you're gonna be a fucking eunuch. Miss Targaryen, who is another G. She's like a real gangster. She goes to the little town and says, look, I'm giving y'all a gift. Y'all can live. Drop all 200,000 of you slaves outside the gates. Give them all the food and shit y'all got. And we'll keep moving. Y'all can live. She's going to get an army of 200,000 men. She's about to be a problem. She's about to be a big problem. She got dragons. She's going to have 200,000 slaves fighting for freedom on her side. She's going to be dangerous. If she gets 200,000, that's bigger than any army in Westeros, I think. It's got to be. When she's coming home, I can guess what's going to happen later on in the books or whatever. It's like you got all these armies converging from different places. You got her coming from the south, right? Her army coming from the south. You got the wildlings coming from the north. You got the White Walkers coming from the north. They might already be there. I don't know what's going on with them because they came at the end of the second season. They went towards the wall. We never saw them again. Right? Then you got the armies fighting inside. You got the Baratheon army. You got the Stark army. You got the Lannister army along with the Tyrells, and all these different forces together. It's just going to be a huge melee of death and body parts and ice and fire. It should be a pretty good show. Sansa, who is going to be marrying the imp, my favorite character, Tyrion Lannister, and his whore Shay, who is not very happy about it. Jaime, who went and fought a bear to save her, Brienne. That bear like Money Mayweather on her and just like jab right in the neck. There's a lot of stuff happening in this episode, but to be honest, overall it was a decent episode. I'd give it like a B, because most episodes of this show is like, at the end is always something crazy, and I'm like, no, oh my God, how is this happening? Oh shit! Like 2 instances when Robert Baratheon died. Like when I found out he was actually gonna die, I was like, what the fuck? He's one of the main characters. You can't kill this dude. And then when Ned Stark died, like I was like, any minute now, some soldiers are gonna run out of here and save this dude. And that sword went down and his head came off, and I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. That nigga dead. I'll be doing this for the last 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks. That's whatever's left of the show, and I'll be doing reviews of other shows probably, most likely. Watch my videos, like them, share them. It's real in these streets, and you know, I'm gonna be doing this regardless. Peace.